Welcome to Rom Wills, Money Matters. 3 steps ahead, 2 steps back. Now remember, it was actually a minister who had said that a few decades ago, and I'll never forget that because he was talking about business. He was discussing, it was a service, and he was discussing business, and he said, as you build a business, you want to go 3 steps ahead, but 2 steps back. So what he meant by that was, yes, you want to move forward. You want to constantly move forward, but you don't want to move forward so much that you don't build a foundation. So yes, you move those 3 steps forward, you move your business, but then you want to step back. Reason why you want to step back a couple steps is you want to solidify that foundation on the business. Because one of the things with a lot of businesses, they can have that one time that they move forward a little bit too quick. And I've read instances of that. A business expand. Like say it's I'll use the example of t-shirts. I haven't used a t-shirt example in a long time. Any of my long-time subscribers, back when I called this channel Rom Wills about that business, I used to talk about t-shirts all the time. I mean, even though the market is oversaturated, it still works if you can find the right customers. But think about it. You got a t-shirt business or something, or maybe a sportswear business, and you're just plodding along. You're just getting started. But then all of a sudden, you get a big order, or something happens, and it explodes. It really expands and everything. All of a sudden, maybe some celebrity wears your product. Okay. But then all of a sudden you get orders that you can't really handle. You're working out of your home. And you working out of your home part-time. All of a sudden you get this order and it's like it's all this stuff. Now, of course, you're not prepared to handle that order. You're not prepared for it. And that could be a problem. And then what if that order is just a one-time thing and it's like a flash in the pan? Then all of a sudden you've expanded everything, but you don't have the infrastructure to really support it. You don't have like that warehouse. You don't have the staff. You don't have everything in place. And, there's different variations of that. There's businesses who've gone out of business because they just weren't ready for all of that. Because there's one thing, anybody who's been in business, especially if you're selling products, not as bad with service, but when you're selling products and everything, you don't have everything in place. You don't have the things in place. And I'll use my own example, because one of the things when I was growing my publishing business, I wasn't in a big hurry. I would establish, when I first started, I didn't have like the bookstores or the distributors or the connection with, Amazon at the time. But I just took my time with it. And I didn't rush. I didn't jump into everything. I looked at everything. I checked out bookstores, like local bookstores. I would check them out first. And then I would talk to the owners, get my books in there. And then I would just explore, look at a couple. I had maybe 3 distributors of my books in the early days. And, I just took my time with it. But I expanded at a rate where I could handle it. It never got overwhelming. Because one of the things is those 2 steps back aren't a negative thing. They're 2 steps to say, all right, I expanded this much. Okay, let me build right here. Let me build it. Let me shore it up. Let me set it up where this is going to work no matter what. It's going to keep going. See, you want to have that solid foundation. You want to have those solid contacts. You want to have those places that you can build, you can expand it. I mean, there was a brief period, very brief period, where when I was married, my wife was making vegan cookies, and at one point we had it in 4 locations in the Baltimore area. Yeah, Rom has done a lot of stuff, but I just did that nice and slow. Now, we weren't in a position if there was a major expansion right away. Now, say if we stuck with that, we would have needed we would have needed a lot more. We would have needed a professional kitchen and stuff of that. Some a lot of other things. I'll put it like that. But that's how you want to build. See, as you're building your business, you want to make sure at each level everything is airtight. That's solid. Everything from the production, the distribution channels, if you need employees, everything there. You want to just take your time. You want to make sure it's solid, because sometimes you get some businesses, they expand too quickly and then they fall just as quickly. But they didn't take those steps back. Everything happened too quick. Like, it's actually, in my opinion, it's better if, you want to get to that point where your product is sold globally. But in my opinion, it's better if it's a slow build. You don't want to like get the product and then, somebody like a t-shirt and somebody wear it, all of a sudden it's expands too far. Because one thing, like in that situation, what could happen is somebody come in, get some, I'm going to use quote unquote, angel investor. And they'll say, oh yeah, we can help you expand. Oh, I just need a part of this business. And some people will go for it. All of a sudden, all right, they might get and they can help you expand and everything, but they might have 49% ownership. But as it expands and they expand, you're not really ready for it. And then what happens with a lot of times, that investor, that quote unquote angel investor, becomes the owner. Boom. Because it's a situation you might be forced to sell something. And trust me, it's a lot of that. But see, you want to build it where you have control. So take your time. Make sure everything's in place. You take those 3 steps forward, but then those 2 steps back to make sure everything is solid. And then you take another 3 steps forward, 2 steps back to make sure everything is solid. Make sure whatever you need for the business, make sure you have everything. Because another point, when you expand too far, it definitely things come in that you weren't thinking about. A lot of little things come in that you're not thinking about. And it could be too fast, or you're not ready for it, and then problems come in, and then that leads to other problems. You want to make sure your business is solid all the way around, and everything is solid. And so take your time and build it. Because many of the businesses that really do well, they were always there. And then when the time for them to really go big and everything, they already got the infrastructure in place. That's the key. All right? So y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.